Now we'll look at the new compare function for EditNC release 9.1. I'm John Coelho, developer of the product. We invoke compare as we did before. Under analysis, it's still called automatic compare. We select the file we want to compare with, and you notice the difference here from the existing compare. Rather than a separate dialog, we split the child window for the first file that we had selected and show both files in that window. We can change the size of each one. And we've done away with the two separate compares that we had before, numeric and character. Replaced numeric with a couple of checkboxes down here at the bottom. We've got two files that are pretty much identical. One has sequence numbers, one doesn't. If we compare them right now, doing a straight character compare, we'll find that the files just really don't compare enough to be useful. So we'll say that we want to ignore sequence numbers in the comparison, and this looks a little bit better. Notice that we now highlight individual comments or address words rather than the entire line if there's a difference. And we still have the options to ignore blanks within the compare, to ignore comments that don't match. Here we have a couple of comments that are different. We can say ignore comments, recompare, and these lines are now considered equivalent. We've got some differences here. In this case, we have address words that are a little different. These two are functionally the same, R value of 0.875, but the formats are slightly different. One has a trailing 0. And we can ignore those differences by clicking on Ignore Numeric Format Differences and recomparing. We still show the difference here because they are two different values. And then going further down the file, if we click on the down arrow, we'll find other differences in the files. Now if we want to maybe account for some post-processor fuzz or something like that, where very small differences in tenths of thousandths of an inch are insignificant to us, then we can specify that. We can say we want to consider numeric values equal if they're within some value that we key in. In this case, I'll key in 2/10, 2/10,000ths of an inch, recompare, and these now compare, are considered as equal values. Let's go back and uncheck that and highlight those again. Look at one other new feature, and that's the ability to edit while we're in compare mode. We can unlock the left file for editing, make our change it to match the right file, go back and recompare, and now of course even without these options set, the files compare. Then when we click return, we'll go back to where we were, normal editing mode, the asterisk indicating that this file has been edited and should be saved before we close it. Now let's look at a new feature of the search, find, replace function. We use a conversational program as an example first. We go to search, find, and let's say we're interested in finding all the tool changes in this program. We can key in tool call, which would be a Heidenhain tool change. Because we'd used that before, it's selected from the list of search arguments. If we click on show all, which is a new button, then we'll get all occurrences displayed on a split screen, all occurrences of blocks with that search argument that are contained within this program. Block numbers contained in the front within brackets, we can no show that display by clicking on that button, clicking on that checkbox. Clicking on the clipboard icon will copy these blocks to the clipboard. They could then be pasted into the program as comments or in some other document. double-clicking on one of these lines will cause us to jump to the line within the file that contains that that corresponds to that line. So we'll close that. Look at the same function with a FANUC program. We go to search find, search for an M6, which is a FANUC tool change, and in this case we'll say that we want to ignore comments, meaning we're not interested in M6s appearing within comments, and ignore numeric format differences, meaning that we are interested in, for example, a block with an M06 within it. We'd say show all, pretty much the same as we saw before. We can double click to jump to them, copy to the clipboard, show or no show the block numbers at the front. We've added mirroring to the adjust dialog. In order to illustrate that, we'll use a sample program that we use quite often. And for the purposes of the demonstration, we'll mirror the floor of these pockets. May not be the most realistic example, but graphically it shows up well. So we're going to mirror all of the tool 2 motion within this particular program. That's it shown there. In order to do that, we need to find it and select it. Tool 2 is sitting right here on the front screen. So I just select anywhere within one of the commands that's covered by Tool 2. Go to the Edit menu, select the tool range. We have all the blocks for Tool 2 selected. Go to Action, Adjust, Mirror. We want to mirror about the Y-axis, and we have two options here. One is to replace these selected blocks with the equivalent mirrored blocks. The other would be to copy them to the clipboard and paste them somewhere else in this program or some other program. In this case, we're going to replace the blocks with their mirrored equivalent. We select Go. Get a message that says 444 coordinates were changed. We'll go and plot it, and we can see that we've mirrored the pocket floors about the Y-axis. One additional enhancement that we've made is to the resequence dialog. We've added an option to resequence only those blocks that are currently numbered, only those blocks that currently have a sequence number on them. I won't demonstrate that. It does what it says it does. We've made a number of other changes in enhancements. Heidenhain support has been improved, especially in the compare area, and in several other areas, including the convert function that was introduced in 9.0. The Heidenhain output is, I think, greatly improved over the prior release. And that's it for 9.1. Thank you for watching.